Once my army conquers Atlantis, I will declare war.
The episode begins with the puppets resembling the Teen Titans acting in a stage play controlled by the Puppet King. At the Titans Tower, Robin, Beast Boy, and Cyborg arrive with a package addressed to them containing the puppets from earlier. To their delight, the Titans start playing with their individual puppets. Later at night, while everyone was asleep, the Puppet King emerges from the package box and proceeds to Starfire's room, causing her to wake up. Starfire looks around and sees no one. The Puppet King then goes into the rooms of the other Titans and uses a device to transfer their souls to the puppets. Meanwhile, Starfire runs into Raven, who is awake due to Starfire talking outside her bedroom. Suddenly, the other Titans attack them. Raven tries to reason with Beast Boy, but he can't seem to hear her. Cyborg then captures both Starfire and Raven. Starfire asks why are they doing this when they consider them as friends. The Puppet King arrives, telling them they're not their friends anymore, and shows the Titan puppets in his hands. He plans to take their souls as well with the device. Before the Puppet King successfully transfers their soul to the puppets, Raven manages to cast a spell that knocks out the device on the Puppet King's hands, and allows their souls to return to their original selves. The Puppet King sends his zombie titans after them as they try to escape. Raven and Starfire hide in an underground passage, and when they turn on the light, they discover they had switched bodies. The two walk along the streets of Jump City as Starfire panics about the situation. Raven tries to calm Starfire down as her emotions can cause sudden bursts of energy that may destroy the things around them. Raven assures her they will rescue the others and return their bodies to normal. They are soon spotted by the zombie Beast Boy. They run into the alleys as Raven tries to fly, to no avail. Beast Boy appears in the form of a tiger and charges at them. When they turn in a corner, zombie Robin appears. They are trapped. They manage to evade their attacks and run. As they hide, the zombie Cyborg punches through the wall, forcing them to run again. They are then cornered by the three zombie titans. Raven tells Starfire to levitate as their only resort, and tells her to think of the spell she usually uses. Starfire recites the spell and they both levitate, but without proper control, they land in a pile of trash, where the zombie titans are patrolling nearby. They are seconds away from being caught when the Puppet King orders Beast Boy to stop the search. He then tells them they will catch the other two once the ceremony is complete, a ceremony that will allow the Puppet King full control of their bodies forever. As soon as the Puppet King and the zombie titans leave, Starfire and Raven come out of their hiding place. Starfire insists to save the others, but Raven explains they can't as they don't have control over their powers. Starfire suggests they get to know each other more to overcome their dilemma. Raven then starts sharing her experiences from her childhood. Once they fully understand each other, Raven and Starfire arrive at the Puppet King's hideout in an abandoned theater where Beast Boy is guarding outside. Starfire reminds Raven of what she needs to think in order to fly, and Raven easily does so. They land on the roof and Starfire uses a spell to open the locked door, but due to excitement, she slams the door open, catching the attention of the Puppet King, who is preparing for the ceremony inside and orders his zombies to check the noise. He pours a liquid into a burning pot and takes the Puppet Titans. When he drops them into the pot, Starfire manages to save them in time using Raven's power. The Puppet King then orders the zombie titans to capture them. The zombies surround Starfire and Raven and the zombie Cyborg blasts the Puppet Titans away from Starfire's hands, sending them down the ground. The zombie Robin attacks Starfire, who refuses to fight at first, but as she has no choice, she traps Robin's feet with a rope and sends him flying as the metal weight plummets to the ground. Meanwhile, Raven tries to hold off the zombie Cyborg and Beast Boy. She kicks Cyborg down the ground but he's about to crash the Puppet Titans. Starfire uses Raven's power to lift Cyborg away from the puppets and uses him to knock the attacking zombie Robin away. The zombie Beast Boy, in the form of a gorilla, charges at Raven, who still fails to use Starfire's power. Beast Boy slams his fist into Raven's face, but she manages to evade the attack. Raven sees Starfire below, fighting the zombie Robin and Cyborg. When Robin is about to kick Starfire, Raven flies off and tackles him away. Just then, Starfire sees the Puppet King carrying the Puppet Titans toward the burning pot and informs Raven. As the Puppet King attempts to hurl the puppets into the pot, Raven finally manages to control Starfire's power and blasts the Puppet King. The device is knocked away from his hands and lands in the pot, where it gets destroyed. A bizarre-looking flame monster emerges from the pot and drains the Puppet King's life force while also returning the Titans' souls to their bodies. Starfire and Raven, whose souls got switched, finally return to normal. The Titans watch as the last bit of the Puppet King's life force drains, forcing him to revert to a lifeless puppet. The next day, Starfire asks Raven if she can join her meditation, to which Raven agrees. They peacefully relax and Raven later asks if Starfire wants to go to the mall with her afterward, just the two of them. On the next episode, a cargo ship carrying toxic wastes journeys through the rough seas amidst a storm. Suddenly, a deep-sea creature breaks into the bridge, destroying it. The creature emerges from the shadows and introduces himself as Trident before vanishing into thin air. Trident then puts several clamps to the sides of the ship before diving back into the ocean, pulling the ship down with him. The seafarers start to flee as the ship sinks and watch as Trident stands on the bow of the sinking ship. Later, the Titans are at their T-ship, preparing for a deep-sea mission to uncover Trident's plan with tons of toxic wastes. Their sensors pinpoint their target and Robin gives Beast Boy the signal. Beast Boy ejects from the ship and into the ocean to check. He transforms into a whale and leads them to the ship which has recently sunk. When they arrive, they discover that the toxic waste cargo is nowhere and Robin wonders where it went. Unbeknownst to them, a mysterious figure of a man observes them closely. Meanwhile, Trident watches from a distance before swimming toward the ship. As Beast Boy investigates, the T-ship's lights catch a glimpse of the mysterious figure, who then swims off fast when Beast Boy spots him. Beast Boy chases after him. Robin believes that Beast Boy has spotted Trident, but the real Trident tails them closely. A moment later, Trident attacks the ship. With the damage incurred, the T-ship's engines are fried. The mysterious man then uses his telepathy to communicate with Beast Boy, informing him that his friends are in danger. Though taken aback, Beast Boy swims away to aid his friends. The man follows and attacks Trident. The T-ship hurtles toward the bottom of the ocean while the man fights Trident. With the water pressure slowly crashing the ship, the Titans' lives are at risk of getting drowned. The man continues to fight with Trident and Beast Boy transforms into a giant squid and hurries down. Just then, Trident flees and the man communicates with the whales, which swim in the direction of the ship, saving the Titans. Beast Boy wonders how the man did it and the man explains that he uses telepathy. He then tells Beast Boy to follow him. The Titans reach a cavern, wondering where they are. Suddenly, the man appears and informs them they are at his place and introduces himself as Aqualad, an Atlantean, so is Trident, he adds. He explains that Trident is a criminal at Atlantis who views himself as perfect. He adds that Trident appears to have acquired a new power, being in different places at once. He then offers to team up with the Titans to stop Trident, which they accept. Aqualad then asks Tram to have their T-ship repaired while he and Beast Boy search for Trident. Aqualad and Beast Boy contest on who can find Trident first. Beast Boy transforms into a dolphin and follows his sonar. They come across a group of dolphins. Aqualad uses his telepathy to communicate with them. Aqualad manages to pinpoint Trident's location with the help of the dolphins. He and Beast Boy race toward their target. Beast Boy swims so fast he doesn't realize he's going directly toward Trident. Before Aqualad can warn him, he bumps into Trident, who then fires at him. They engage in a brief fight, where Aqualad snaps the Trident into two. Trident flees into an underwater cave that has two entrances. They spot Trident in two opposite directions and argue about who is right. They split up and swim away from each other in pursuit of Trident. While searching, Aqualad is attacked by Trident and Beast Boy fights with another. Aqualad manages to take down Trident by forcing him into a crater. He then swims upward to a cavern where he meets Beast Boy, who tells him he also saw Trident. They start arguing as Beast Boy points out that Aqualad is meddling with his mission and he's better than him. Aqualad says he doesn't think he's better, which instantly changes Beast Boy's demeanor. Beast Boy suggests the idea that there must be multiple Trident. A moment later, an orange goo falls into Beast Boy's face. They look up and find themselves in a cavern full of thousands of Trident's cocoons. They are then attacked by an army of Trident. Amidst the fight, Beast Boy and Aqualad are thrown toward the hatching machine, accidentally activating it. Trident then claims that one perfect version of himself is not enough, so he created thousands of copies of himself. He then declares he will conquer Atlantis with his army before bringing his wrath to the surface world. As Trident thinks he's better than everyone else, Beast Boy comes up with an idea and manipulates them into fighting each other for supremacy. The Tridents start attacking each other until no one is left standing among them. However, Aqualad and Beast Boy still need to stop thousands of eggs from hatching. When they check the hatching device, they discover they are too late as the hatching process already begins. The eggs start to hatch and the hatchlings swim after them as they flee. Aqualad says they need to seal an exit to prevent them from getting away. They swim toward the exit just as the T-ship appears and blasts it, causing a cave-in. The Titans celebrate as they finish the mission with success. When the Trident hatchlings are sealed off, the Titans return to the Titans Tower with Aqualad. Robin gives him a Titan communicator and calls him an honorary Titan for his help. Aqualad then bids goodbye to Starfire and Raven, who are swooning over him since the first time they met him. Beast Boy praises him but still insists he's better than him and offers a rematch, which he can do so anything Aqualad wishes. Aqualad playfully accepts as they begin to race, taunting each other to keep up. The episode begins one night when the Teen Titans encounter a bunch of thieves dressed with the same markings as Slade. One of them grabs a red computer chip on display and attempts to flee, but Robin manages to snatch the chip with a Bertarang. Beast Boy catches it as an anteater, but the thief steps on his tongue and takes the device before vanishing with the rest. Robin tells the others to split up as they chase the thieves in the sewers. He manages to find the one holding the device and chases after it. The thief throws an energy disc, trying to get away, and turns in a corner before throwing an explosive, causing a cave-in and locking Robin out. The thief then uses a laser device to carve an exit, but Starfire is there to catch him. He attacks Starfire with a laser beam, taking her down, before activating a rocket booster to get away. Robin rescues Starfire and his Bertarang catches the assassin. They fly across the ocean toward the shore where Robin confronts the thief, asking questions about Slade. He removes its mask, only to find out it was only a robot with a small monitor inside its head. The monitor shows Slade, who praises Robin's improving skills. Slade then offers to meet, but he notes that Robin must be patient before shutting the robot off. At the Titan's tower, Starfire worries about Robin, who's still in his room trying to figure out who Slade is after their recent conversation. She goes to his room, but Robin dismisses her, saying he needs to find out why Slade wants the chip. At a guarded facility where the red chip is being kept, the alarm suddenly rings, alerting the guards. The guards go outside to check, but the doors suddenly shut behind them. They are too late when they finally manage to break in as a masked man, with an X symbol in his mask, grabs the chip and disappears. At the roof, Robin informs the Titans that he cannot come with them as he is at the far side, picking up a lead on Slade. The masked man appears on the roof and the Titans attack him. Cyborg blasts him, but he's able to evade every attack with precision. Beast Boy charges as a lion, but the man takes him down with a red sticky goo coming from his hand. The man then restrains Starfire and patches up Raven's mouth. He then hacks into Cyborg before vanishing again. In Slade's hideout, the man, who calls himself Red X, offers the chip to Slade in exchange for an alliance, but Slade wants more. Red X responds he will do anything. Meanwhile, Robin arrives at the Titan's tower and sees the situation the Titans are in after their fight with Red X. Robin informs them he failed to find any information on Slade and proceeds to his room to investigate again, leaving the Titans worried. Later that night, Robin wakes the Titans of a robbery by Red X and tells them to be there as soon as possible. The Titans come upon Robin chasing Red X, who deploys a net trap, holding off Robin. Robin tells them not to worry about him and to go after Red X instead. Red X goes into a subway and disappears. Cyborg scans the area but ends up getting punched away. Red X puts a mark on Cyborg's back, but his trick doesn't work anymore. Cyborg hurls him toward the Titans, whom he single-handedly fights. He ends up punching Beast Boy into the railway where a train is approaching fast. Unexpectedly, Red X swoops in and saves Beast Boy before running for the exit. The Titans are left confused. Red X then goes into his hideout and talks with Slade, who praises him for his performance at the subway. Now that he has the blue chip, Red X asks if it is enough to prove himself trustworthy, but Slade explains that trust takes time to build. He then gives Red X one final mission, to steal a green chip. When the transmission is terminated, Red X removes his mask and reveals himself as Robin. Back at the Titan's tower, the rest of the Titans are tracking Red X's attacks, trying to predict where he would strike next. Robin arrives, and Starfire happily informs him of their findings about Red X, but Robin dismisses her. The Titans believe that Robin is losing his grip, but Starfire defends him, saying he's worked really hard than anyone to catch Slade. Later, Starfire goes into Robin's room and discovers a hologram of Robin trapped in a net, telling them to get Red X, a scene from their recent fight. That's when Starfire realizes something. Meanwhile, Red X manages to get the green chip and Slade appears, praising him. Red X demands to know where Slade is planning to use the chip, but Slade refuses to answer, saying he needs to be patient. Slade says he cannot trust him easily with sensitive information and calls him Robin before snatching the chips from his hand. The lights turn on, revealing that Robin bit Slade's trap. He is now surrounded by hundreds of Slade's robot soldiers. Robin prepares to fight when suddenly, the Titans break in to catch Red X, not knowing he is Robin. Cyborg stops him, believing he's an enemy, allowing Slade to get away. Starfire arrives, just as Robin reveals himself and says they need to chase Slade. The Titans are left in the room while Robin runs after Slade, who stops at a roof. Robin follows, and they engage in a fistfight. Neither of them manages to hit the other until Slade catches Robin's fist before hitting him in the stomach, knocking him to the edge of the building. Robin manages to grab the edge, but it suddenly breaks. As he falls, Slade grabs his hand, saving him, and says he's not done with him yet. Robin bounces from the metal frames and attacks Slade. Finally, he manages to overpower him with a punch, sending him stumbling on the floor. Robin approaches Slade and removes his mask, only to find out it was only one of Slade's robots. It begins to show a countdown and explodes as it reaches 0. Just then, the other Titans arrive. Robin stares at the burning robot, realizing he didn't make any progress on learning who Slade is. Later, Robin is in his room, staring at Slade's mask when Starfire arrives to ask him his reason for keeping things from them. Robin explains that he needed to convince Slade, which he didn't, so he ended up not knowing anything about him. Starfire argues, saying he and Slade has one thing in common: Slade does not trust Robin, and Robin does not trust his own teammates. Starfire walks away bitterly, leaving Robin to contemplate what she said. On the next episode, Robin wakes up and finds himself restrained on a chair. He struggles to break free, and so are the other Titans who are trapped with him. Beast Boy wonders where they are and a man arrives, who calls himself Mad Mod, their captor. Robin tells the others to move as Mad Mod approaches, but their efforts prove futile. The chairs are specially made to neutralize their powers. Mad Mod explains how he kidnapped them from the Titan's tower by using knockout gas and that he has brought them to his school to teach them good manners. He tells them he hates misbehaving children, which according to his definition is what the Titans do: fighting crimes, saving lives, and stopping hardworking criminals like him. He assures to teach them a lesson of proper respect in his school. The bell rings and the floor beneath the Titans suddenly opens, dropping them below in different classrooms with large hypnotic screens to manipulate them into following him. Robin falls into a room covered in checkerboard and the Mad Mod tries to hypnotize him. Robin fights back and manages to break free from the chair, but the classroom's weapon systems activate and attack him. A giant rocket emerges from the wall and Mad Mod begins a countdown while Robin tries to evade the shooting statues. When Mad Mod reaches 0, the rocket launches and explodes upon contact with Robin. Just when Robin thinks he has escaped, Mad Mod appears and lets Robin chase him. Mad Mod lures him into unending stairs before passing through a door. Suddenly Robin hears Starfire's voice, screaming. He climbs to the shelves and sees Starfire being forced to submit. Robin saves Starfire before she gets crushed by a giant stamp, then frees her from restraints. They try to evade the exploding books and arrive in a room where they get attacked by Mad Mod statues. Soon after, they get sucked into a spiral and land in a laboratory room with giant apparatuses where they find the hypnotized Beast Boy. They manage to escape the chemical-filled room and are soon rejoined by Cyborg and Raven outside, who tells them their own experiences about escaping the classroom. Cyborg wonders where Beast Boy is, who then crawls in front of them, drooling. Robin explains they tried waking him up, to no avail. Cyborg then burps near Beast Boy's ears, prompting Beast Boy to laugh, thus, breaking Mad Mod's hypnotism. They then think of a way to get out of Mad Mod's dimension, by destroying his cane. Beast Boy leads the way while swearing he'll never get hypnotized again, but one hypnoframe appears and easily controls him. Mad Mod suddenly appears, telling them they can't win. Robin orders the others to chase after Mad Mod, while Starfire makes Beast Boy laugh to free him from the trance. They spot Mad Mod, but as they are inside his world, they cannot get a hold of him. They start running in circles, back and forth, trying to catch up with Mad Mod, who tries blasting them with a handheld cannon. They end up chasing him around the dimension, extremely at a disadvantage. Robin grabs a Mad Mod statue and turns it on, opening a portal that shows forests and mountains. They start walking toward it, only to discover they are back from where they started. Mad Mod appears, telling them they haven't learned anything and that they need to undergo the entire brainwashing lesson again. Beast Boy ends up getting easily hypnotized again as Mad Mod's robot army surrounds them. Robin then tells the others to get the cane, but though they try to stop Mad Mod with their combined efforts, they end up getting captured once more. Cyborg is electrocuted, Raven is forced into the chair and Beast Boy gets hypnotized again. Meanwhile, Robin manages to get closer to Mad Mod, and dives into him, trying to attack. He passes through the cane, though it looks like it was real. Robin realizes that the Mad Mod he is fighting is also fake, just like everything else in there. He jumps into a cut, sliced by Mad Mod's robot statue, and makes his way deeper into the system, destroying several wires as he goes. Meanwhile, the real Mad Mod, who is actually an old man with no combat skills whatsoever, is in a room surrounded by monitors and a control panel. As Robin destroys the wires, the monitors start shutting down. Just then, the Titans manage to break free from the chairs as Mad Mod's technical illusions start crumbling down. Robin confronts the real Mad Mod and takes him for years of detention. After restraining Mad Mod, the Titans emerge from a passageway, greeting the morning sun. Starfire, however, worries that Beast Boy was now permanently hypnotized as she has tried everything to wake him up, to no avail. Raven cracks a joke about him not having a brain, causing him to laugh, but also gets immediately frustrated as soon as he realizes what she said.
Dangerous behavior, Robin. You must be very eager to see me.
Who are you?
I should have known that thing was a fake.
Go back. Unless you want me to destroy them, go back and fight.
The episode begins as Cyborg finishes the last touches of the Teen Titans' official land transportation, the T-Car. He proudly showcases the newly built T-Car to the rest of the Titans, enumerating its cool features. Everyone is excited, except Raven. The perfect timing comes to test the T-Car as the trouble alert rings and the proud Cyborg volunteers to drive. On their way, Cyborg is about to show them the full speed capacity of the T-Car when Robin tells him to stop the car at Cook's Electronics, where people are desperately trying to flee. The others rush to the scene, but Cyborg cleans the car first, saying he will follow them in a minute. Two juvenile bystanders, Sammy and Cash, approach him and praise his car. Cyborg boasts his car's features, proudly citing the attributes of his creation. Raven suddenly pulls him out of the scene, leaving the juveniles, who are seemingly interested in the T-Car. Meanwhile, inside the electronic shop, the appliances begin to disintegrate as a monster made out of electricity with a red chip in its chest consumes them. The monster calls himself Overload. The Titans arrive and Overload attacks them. Robin deflects his attacks while Raven uses her powers to throw electronics at the monster, but it only ends up absorbing them, allowing it to grow bigger. Starfire's attacks can't seem to penetrate Overload, who then zaps her away. Cyborg figures that the monster is not waterproof, so he knocks it toward the water dispenser, causing its chip to malfunction. Robin tells the others to soak Overload, and with all the sources of water they can get, the Titans begin blasting Overload with water. Overload is then reduced to a smaller, weaker version of himself. The Titans capture Overload, and when they exit the electronic shop, they discover that Cyborg's T-ship has been stolen. Cyborg insists they find the car first, but they need to turn Overload into jail. Raven points out that it was just a car. To Cyborg's frustration, he storms off to find the car alone. He later learns that Sammy and Cash were the ones who stole his car, painted it, and brought it to Crash Alley for a race. Meanwhile, at Crash Alley, Sammy and Cash put the T-ship against a smaller car. The race starts at equal speed until the smaller car drives past the T-Car. Cash steps on the accelerator, overtaking the smaller car, and uses the car's special features like smoke and oil slicks to stop the smaller car. However, the smaller car activates its spider-like legs, evading the oils and overtaking them. Sammy presses a button that activates the rocket booster, making them the first ones to finish. As they celebrate, they are suddenly captured in a force bubble by the smaller car, which reveals itself to be Gizmo, one of the Hive Academy's top agents. Gizmo takes the car and flees the scene. As soon as Gizmo leaves, Cyborg appears to confront Sammy and Cash. They tell him it was Gizmo, who's now robbing a bank downtown. Cyborg appears on the hood of the T-Car, to Gizmo's surprise. Gizmo takes the car through a car wash before running it through a construction zone toward a bridge where he manages to evade Cyborg, who falls into the passing ship containing trash. Cyborg mourns the loss of his car at a burger diner when Raven shows up and sympathizes with him. Suddenly, they spot Gizmo, who's taking off with the T-Car. They then see Sammy and Cash and borrow their car. The chase begins on a highway. Gizmo activates the T-Car's proton cannon and blasts Cyborg and Raven, but Cyborg manages to evade the attacks. To catch up with the T-Car, Raven uses her telekinesis to speed up their car. While Cyborg is desperately trying to get Gizmo to stop, the T-Car ends up crashing into a prison transport truck that happens to be transporting Overload. While Cyborg stares at his broken car, Overload suddenly takes over it and replaces its chip with his own chip. The T-Car's blue highlights turn to red as Overload rebuilds it. Overload drives full speed toward Cyborg, telling him that the only way to stop him is to destroy the car, which he confidently thinks Cyborg cannot do. However, Cyborg aims his sonic cannon and blasts the T-Car into pieces, completely shutting down Overload. Afterward, Gizmo is taken to the prison transport with Sammy and Cash and Overload's chip. Cyborg sadly accepts that his creation is gone forever, but Raven hands him the T-Car's circuit board while saying that the car is not special by itself, but because he's the one who created it. Later, Cyborg rebuilds the T-Car with scrap materials with the help of Raven, who smiles widely as they finish its final touches. On the next episode, Robin wakes up, panting, after a dream fighting Slade in a barren land, only to find out it was actually him. Cyborg arrives to inform him that Slade has contacted them. They arrive at the main ops room, where Slade communicates with them through a large monitor. Slade points out that the Titans have been having a hard time figuring out what he's up to, so he'll do them a favor by telling them directly. He plans to activate a Chronoton detonator, a device that can stop time permanently. He pulls out the remote in his hand and challenges the Titans to find him themselves before terminating the transmission. Robin insists they split up to find the detonator, but the rest of the Titans suggests he stay at the tower, given his recent encounter with Slade. He defends himself, saying it was only a mistake, and assures them he can handle it this time. Raven then informs them Slade has left a clue of his whereabouts and rewinds a video showing the location of the Chronoton detonator, Pier 41, at the docks. They immediately go to check the warehouse, only to find it empty. Suddenly, Slade's robot soldiers start surrounding them. The Titans prepare to fight, but the angry Robin gets overwhelmed with wrath and manages to take down all of Slade's soldiers in haste while the rest of the Titans watch in horror. After the fight, Robin walks out of the warehouse and spots someone coming from an alley. He chases after the man and confronts him about anything he knows about Slade, but the man swears he doesn't know anything. Before Robin can punch the man out of frustration, Raven restrains him with her powers. Robin lashes out at them, prompting Beast Boy to comment that he's starting to act like Slade. Robin turns around and emphasizes he is nothing like Slade. Suddenly, Starfire sneezes, causing a starbolt explosion and revealing she's allergic to metallic chromium, a rare mineral used in a Chronoton detonator. Thus, Starfire's allergies allow them to track Slade's detonator. The Titans manage to track the detonator in the underground sewers, where it was being loaded by Slade's soldiers in a speedboat. As they walk toward the detonator, Cinderblock punches through the wall and grabs Robin. Robin tells the others to go after the detonator while he fights Cinderblock. Starfire carries Cyborg while Beast Boy and Raven fly behind them in pursuit of the speedboat. Robin manages to win an easy fight over Cinderblock and finds a tracking device in its hand, showing Slade's coordinates, which draws a smile on Robin's face. The rest of the Titans apprehend Slade's soldier, but it managed to activate the autopilot system beforehand, causing the boat to speed off through the sewers. Cyborg tries to disable it, to no avail. He ends up breaking the control panel to halt the boat in a cavern connecting the sewers. Meanwhile, while Slade monitors the Titans from his monitors, Robin bursts into the room behind Slade and confronts him. Slade notes that he's been expecting his arrival. Robin demands him to give up the remote for the detonator, and Slade puts it on the floor in between them before walking a few inches away. He taunts Robin to get it if he wants it, much to Robin's anger. A fight ensues. Slade proves to be stronger than Robin, managing to hit him while also evading all of his attacks. Robin puts his all into a flying kick in an attempt to hit Slade, but Slade intercepts his attack in the stomach, knocking him down. Robin erupts in anger, prompting Slade to say that they have many qualities in common. Frustrated than ever, Robin gathers his strength to strike Slade on the head before hitting him several times more and eventually knocking him down. Robin grabs the remote, but it instantly crumbles, much to his surprise. He demands to know where the real remote is, but Slade reveals there is no remote as there is no detonator. Back in the sewers, the rest of the Titans are trying to figure out a way to disable the Chronoton detonator. Cyborg randomly cuts a wire, causing the detonator to seemingly go off. The Titans brace themselves, holding their breath, expecting the worst, but the detonator short-circuits and collapses. Cyborg scans the Chronoton detonator, and discovers that it was fake. Suddenly, a laser gun emerges behind them and blasts them into the water. The then Titans confirm they are unharmed. Though confused, they believe that their mission was a success. Meanwhile, Slade explains that he used the detonator as a decoy to insert nanoscopic probes into the Titans' bloodstream using the laser gun. Once activated, the probes will terminate them from the inside. Robin tells him that his friends will not obey him despite facing their demise, but Slade corrects him, it was him whom he wants. Slade says that he had been seeking an apprentice and he has chosen Robin, who refuses to work for him. Slade threatens him that the lives of his friends will be at risk if he doesn't, forcing him to submit. The other Titans emerge from the sewers, unaware of the probes inside their bodies. They soon notice that Robin is nowhere to be found. Starfire tries to contact him to no avail as his Titan's communicator has been disabled. Meanwhile, Robin dons the armor of Slade as Slade's new apprentice. On the final episode, the Teen Titans continue trying to find Robin with no luck. They begin to wonder what was Slade's real plan and what was the reason why he intended to separate them from Robin. Suddenly, they are alerted of a theft, and they later discover that the thief was Robin, now under Slade's control. Robin blows Starfire away while Slade talks with him through an earpiece, warning him not to say a word. He then blasts the bridge before disappearing, leaving the Titans in complete shock. Robin returns to Slade's lair and hands him the device he's stolen, a high-tech thermal blaster. Slade praises him, but Robin is awfully angry and swears to make him pay for what he's done once the Titans are no longer in danger. Slade, however, is impressed, noting that they so think alike. Robin grimaces in frustration before attempting to grab the trigger out of Slade's hand. Slade easily takes him down before saying how he monitored Robin's vital signs which showed that Robin actually enjoyed the thrill. He then says that Robin will continue stealing until he realizes it was good for him. Slade claims he might end up being Robin's father, but Robin looks up as he says he already has one. At the Titans' tower, the Titans are still trying to deduce the situation. Beast Boy thinks that there must be some kind of mind control or he must have been replaced by a robot imposter, but Raven says there's no mind control and Cyborg confirms it was the real Robin. Starfire refuses to believe. She says Robin cannot betray his friends nor commit any crimes, but Raven tells her that something did and they need to apprehend him like what they always do with criminals. Suddenly, the alarm blares, with Beast Boy confirming that it was Robin again. Meanwhile, Robin is ready to steal yet another device at Wayne Enterprises when the Titans appear. Instead of fighting, Robin decides to flee through the ceiling. Slade is unhappy and orders him to go back and fight or else he will finish off the Titans. Robin has no choice but to fight and immediately defeats the rest except Starfire, who tells him to blast her if he is truly evil. Unable to cause harm to Starfire, Robin lowers his blaster, much to Slade's rage. Slade then activates the probes which start attacking the Titan cells, torturing them. Slade tells him he will only stop if he attacks with the thermal blaster, which Robin reluctantly does so. Suddenly, the Titans are back to normal. Slade has deactivated the probes. Robin attacks again, but they manage to corner him at the edge of the roof. With not much choice, Robin deploys his explosive discs before running away again. Beast Boy is left wondering how Robin was able to use a new trick, the probes, but Starfire believes that it was Slade who's behind it. At Slade's lair, Robin arrives and attempts to punch Slade, who's currently monitoring his progress. Slade catches Robin's fist and proceeds to engage him in another fight. Robin is able to withstand his attacks, with Slade noting that he has improved since their last fight. At the Titans' tower, the Titans discover Slade's probes as they test Beast Boy. Cyborg reveals there are billions of them inside their body, which can allow Slade to finish them at any time. They finally realize that it was the reason why Robin was following Slade's orders. Back at Slade's lair, Robin continues to prove a good match for Slade. He grabs a metal bar and fights Slade with it. Though overpowered at first, Robin manages to land several blows and sends Slade flying away with a cracked mask. Slade swears he'll regret he's done that. Robin rips off Slade's emblem on his suit and throws it in front of Slade, who erupts in anger and attacks him. Without holding back, Slade assures to teach him gratitude while attacking him. He pins Robin down to the ground while telling him how he shared his knowledge and power with him, and he only ended up caring for his friends. Slade threatens to activate the probes again, forcing Robin to obey him. As Slade orders Robin to call him master, a blast knocks Slade across the room. The Titans have arrived. Slade orders Robin to attack, but Robin proceeds to warn his friends to go or the probes will eventually finish them. The Titans reveal they know about it and they do not care, they are his friends. Slade activates the probes which slowly tortures the Titans to their demise. He orders Robin again to attack, but Robin runs toward the machine, allowing himself to be injected with the probes. He then walks toward Slade and tells him if he loses his friends, Slade will lose his apprentice. Slade destroys the trigger and proceeds to attack Robin, but the latter intercepts his attack. Robin calls out to the rest of the Titans and they attack all together, bringing Slade to his knees. Robin strikes his head, destroying half of his mask. Slade hides his face with his hand before running away to activate the lair's self-destruct sequence. As the lair goes dark, Slade escapes while the Titans begin to flee. Cyborg grabs the machine before making their escape. The Titans return to the Titans' tower, where they use the machine to extract all of Slade's probes from their bodies. Cyborg declares they are now probe-free, prompting Raven to say they should celebrate for defeating their biggest foe yet. Cyborg and Robin freeze in shock, and Beast Boy suggests they enjoy a breakfast for dinner feast. Cyborg and Beast Boy take Raven toward the kitchen, leaving Robin and Starfire. Starfire apologizes for doubting Robin, believing that he is indeed like Slade, but Robin tells her he also doubted himself. Though he hates to admit it, Robin notes they really have things in common, but what makes him different is that he has friends that care for him. Hearing this cheers up Starfire, and they proceed to join the others at the dining table for their celebration.